Hi everybody, welcome to Jewell Family Farm. Well, today, as you all know, we raise meat birds for our freezer. So today, we're going to try to get all of our meat birds in the freezer. So just wanted to show you kind of like what we do. We don't have an outdoor kitchen, so what we do is I just boil 2 big pots of water up on the stove here. And then down here is where we're going to pluck the chickens. We've done this before, so it works out really good. And then I'll put my hot water down here and we'll dunk the chickens in it until, you know, the feathers get loose. And then we'll put it over here and we'll pluck them. And then I'll bring them over to the sink to butcher them. So that's what we do. Now, just so you know, it does make your house a little bit stinky when you're doing it. But once you get the chickens, you know, in the refrigerator, you have to put them in some cold water, and you have to keep them in the refrigerator, and you have to put some salt in there, and you have to keep them in there for 24 hours before you package them or eat them. They just need to get all the blood out, finish getting all the blood out of them. So that's what happens when you put them in the refrigerator. I have great big huge bowls that I use to put them in, and so they sit in the refrigerator all night long. So yeah, what I was saying is it does make it a little stinky in here, but once you get everything packaged, everything in the refrigerator and everything cleaned up, and you bleach everything down, the odor goes away really fast. It doesn't stay longer than what you're butchering. So anyway. Okay, so I don't want to show you the actual killing, but this is how we do our setup right here. I have it cooked onto my clothesline, and we just make sure we catch all the blood down in these buckets. It does get on the post some, but these are not part of my clothesline. These are just extra boards that he put up for this job. And we just use, what are these things called? These are traffic cones? Cones, and we cut them to fit the chickens. As you go on and you know, start butchering your own chickens, according to how big they are, is how big you need to make the holes. And you'll know when you put the chickens down there if their head doesn't come down. Sometimes you have to reach up there and pull it down. But if the cones are too small, when you buy the cones, you're definitely going to have to cut the ends off of them. But now we had to recut these because these chickens are so big. I'm curious to see how much they weigh, but the last ones we butchered, the holes didn't have to be this big. And so anyway, here's the man that does all the killing, not me. I take care of him after he does that. I have to turn my head. I help him catch him and put him in there, but then I have to turn my head when he goes to kill him. But I'll help pluck them and butcher them. Okay, so we just kind of use the water hose to squirt off the back sides and get all the manure off of them that we can before we take them in the house, and that cuts down on some of the smell. Plus, you want to put water in your buckets, because then you can pour that in a place that you're going to have a garden, because it's got a lot of nutrients in it, the blood does. So save all that and throw it and put it wherever, you know, your garden is going to be, or whatever, or you can just throw it out. But we just kind of rinse them off a little bit first before we take them in the house. Okay, so here's our assembly line. We have the chickens in this big bucket. We bring them in that. And then we have our hot water that we boil to 150. It can be from 130 to 170. And the more hotter it is, the better it takes the feathers off. And then that's the bucket we're going to put it in, just to get it up in the sink to clean them and butcher them. Okay. So here we go. If you're squeamish about this, now's the time to cut this video off. Okay, you ready? So we just have our birds here. And I'm just going to put them down in this hot boiling water. The whole thing. You want their feet down in there too, so you can clean their feet. And you'll have to change this water and reheat it quite often. You leave them down in here for about 30 seconds, something like that.
30 seconds to 2 minutes.
30 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on how hot your water is, and it's best to have it a little bit hotter. And you just check it, you know, and see if the feathers are coming out easily. That one's coming out pretty easy, but not on the tail feather, so I want to keep it in there a little bit longer. We'll do these 2 birds in this water, and then I have another pot of water up on the stove up there, and we'll dump this one out and reheat some hot water for the next round. We could do it outside, but it's just too hot out there, and I don't like the meat to be out there in the heat. I don't like the butcher in this hot heat. It's not over 90, it's like 90 degrees out there today. See how easy that comes off? The tail feathers are coming off. It took a minute?
Yep.
They've been in there a minute?
Yeah.
Alright.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
Let me get a hot holder. You can use whatever you want to get them out. I'm just going to use these pot holders to grab hold of their feet and pull them out. But don't reach down in there with your bare hands, you'll get scalded. Alright, I'm going to stick this one down in there.
If
You want to, you want to start plucking it. Stick that one in there. This just works out best for us, you know, by ourselves, and we're not out in the heat, and we get done faster, so because we don't get so hot, and it's just easier for us to do it this way. And the water's cooled off, so it's going to take this one a little bit longer for the feathers to come out. You want to make sure they come out easy. See, that wasn't easy. I had to really yank and pull on those. See how fast you can clean that thing? It don't take long at all. Not like hens or roosters, like regular, you know, once these meat birds, the feathers come off really fast and easy. It don't take you no time to butcher these. Alright, let's check this one. Yeah, see, that came off a whole lot easier. Let me check the tail feathers. A little bit longer. I don't want it to be any harder than it has to be. That's because the water cooled off. So it's best to get it up to 170 when you first start. Alright, I think that's about it. You have to really bleach everything when you're done doing this job with bleach water. Not pure bleach, but you need to make you a sink of hot soapy water and put bleach in it, and then clean all your counters and everything. These things are going to have to go in the washing machine. So you have to be very, very cautious when you're doing this indoors. These things are so heavy. Whew. Good Lord. And they're hot when you first put them in here. They got little pin feathers on them. Let me scoot you up closer where you can see what I'm talking about. They have these little pin feathers on them right here. You have to pull all those out, but see, it don't take long. They just come right out. Now, if you're doing a regular rooster, you know, like your egg layers, like not that a rooster lays eggs, but I'm saying those type of chickens, the more those kind of chickens, it takes forever to clean them. They're hard to clean. They got these teeny tiny little pin feathers that you got to try to get out. They're a pain in the butt. That's one reason I like doing these meat birds. They're easy to clean. You just almost just rake your hand over them, and the feathers just come off. My daughter just got into meat birds, and she's got some little chicks right now, so yeah, she's enjoying that. She's going to have some really beautiful jewelry that she's going to start selling. Right now she's building her inventory, but it's mostly with gems and stones and things like that. Beautiful stuff. She's doing a great job, and she's making it all by hand. And she used to be she used to work in a jewelry shop when she first got out of high school, and she had a really good mentor that taught her a lot about jewelry and making jewelry and cleaning jewelry and all kinds of stuff like that. But anyway, she learned a lot. She got some kind of she passed some kind of she got a certificate for something to do with jewelry. I can't remember what it was, but she's really good at her craft. And as soon as she gets her inventory up, I'm going to post a link for that, but that's going to be a little while yet. But I just want to let you all know that that's coming. And also, I don't know if you all know that I sell goat milk soap. And if you go to my Facebook page, you can order from there. I don't have a website or a store. You can just go to my Facebook page and text me, or it's best to text me and say goat milk soap or something like that, or send me an email. My email is at the bottom of the screen. If you hit the little arrow that goes down, you'll see my email address, and you can order from there. I also have a few lotions left, not many, and I just made some salve, as you've seen. I don't know if you've seen my other videos on that, out of all natural ingredients, and it's the first time I've made that, and I absolutely love it. And I think it would be great for people my age, because it made my skin so soft. And let me turn this pot off up here. I put it on right after I have my shower, and I put it on my face and my legs, and sometimes I put it on my feet when I go to bed. It helps a lot of different things. Also, I've noticed for me and some of my family members that there's a lot of ticks around here right now, and we've been putting it, after we pull the ticks off, putting that salve on there, and it helps with the itching or on bug bites. It's really nice. I really like it. So if you want to look at that, that's on my Facebook page also. And get as much as you can off of here, down here. And once we get it up in the sink and we start washing it off, we'll have to finish plucking it up there. Okay, so here we have it up in the sink. We kind of have to take turns. Let me get my knife. If you're going to make bone broth, you need to cut these little pieces of, I don't know what that is, but cut it off. You don't want to eat that. That's just dirt. We're not going to save these, but if you do, make sure you get good and clean in here, okay? and cut these toenails off. Let me get a cutting board. Make sure you cut those toenails off. You don't want to cook these. That scissor. I can't get this one maneuvered upright to cut it off. Whoops. Flying toenails. Alright. We're just going to start cleaning this off and plucking off these other pieces that I missed. Now, you're not going to get every single piece because you'll just miss it. That's just the way it is. So after you put it in the freezer and you freeze it and then you want to cook it one day and you thaw it out, you may have to pluck a few little things, a few little feathers off because it happens. So don't be upset or worried that your meat's bad because it's not. You just have to pluck it off. I remember my grandma, she had some chickens, just laying hens and stuff, but she'd kill the roosters and stuff to make some dumplings. But I remember when I was little being out with her, and she had this little barn, and I remember seeing her out there chasing this chicken around the yard. Oh, she finally caught it, and I was probably about, I don't know, I wasn't that old, but I remember it. I was probably about 4 or 5 maybe not even that old, but I remember this vividly, and I remember her getting it and sticking it on a piece of a log, not a log, but a stump, and taking her axe and cutting its head off and cooking that. But I thought that, when I think back on her chasing that chicken around the yard, it makes me laugh. You need something?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, you need. Alrighty. So, the first thing you want to do is go down here very gently, and cut this piece of skin. You don't want to cut anything on the inside because that's where all of its poop's at. Okay? So, very gently, just slice up through there. Take your knife on the inside so you're not cutting any of that stuff. But this is just skin right here. Okay? Now if you're squeamish, you can put on gloves, which I wish I had of. I don't mind doing this, but I don't know. I just like to have gloves on. I didn't think about it. And you just go up there, and then you come up here. Get a hold of its neck. Now you can save the neck. We just got to clean it off. I don't like all this skin on here, so I'm going to cut all that off. There's its vocal cord thing. I don't know what you call it. I forget. Don't be afraid, because sometimes there's air in there. There's air inside of this thing. And sometimes when you cut it, it squeaks. So just be prepared. And it sounds just like they're crowing, and you know they're supposed to be dead. Okay, just go in there and kind of go around it a little bit with your finger and loosen it up some. And I'm going to cut this neck off. Oh, we didn't put our pot out here to throw our good pieces in. Let me go get it. Just clean your neck off some. Alright. Alright, so need to loosen all this stuff up. Just kind of go in there and loosen everything up. This is just how I do it. Other people does it a whole lot better than I do, but this is what I do. Just go up in there and pull it out. All right, now. Here's the liver. Careful with this. This right here is the gallbladder. If you cut that, you can't use this. So make sure that you go up close enough there and throw that away. And you got a nice piece of liver here. There's the heart. There's the liver. Go over here to the bucket. Okay, I do use the liver. All right, now here you have to be careful here because that's where all the poop's at. So what I like to do, you see how I reach up here and touch this top of this faucet? You need to wash. You need to bleach everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here. It's just skin right here, mostly. There's no bone, like right on each side. You can feel it. It's just skin, and you want to just cut on each side of that butt. Be very careful, and then go up here and cut it so that you're not cutting that poop sack. Get you a good pair of scissors. It makes a huge difference. I don't use the gizzard either. I'm sorry, but I just don't. I don't feel like cleaning it. It takes too much time. Okay, make sure you go up in here and clean this carcass out. Make sure there's nothing up in there, because see, there's lungs in there. You can get a lung scraper. I don't have one. I don't feel like I need one. Don't forget to pull this out. Voice box. Alright, let's see. I gotta get these lungs out of here. I just take my fingers and go up in there and get them. They're stuck down in the ribs, so you have to really work on them. There they are. And there's one on each side, of course. There's two lungs and everything, as far as I know. And there's the other lung. So just make sure you're cleaning it out good. Okay? And then rinse it out. Rinse it off really good.
Just pull this out?
Yep. Well, did you get the stuff loose from up here?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to cut the neck off? That makes it a little bit easier. He usually does all the killing. He's helping me clean today. Alright, so you don't want these feet. I mean, well, if you do want them, you still got to cut them off and put them in a bag. But find the joint. See where it wiggles? You can cut it up this way first if you want to. But right there. Alright, and right here. Just twist it. And then you can see exactly where to cut. That's the easiest way for me to do it. Now you can cut this up if you want to, but I'm just going to leave them whole. This is a nice big fat roasting hen, and that looks really nice. I'm going to weigh this little sucker and see how much it weighs. Here, you need the water. Let me throw this in the trash.
If you turn that off, you can help me with this.
Oh, okay. You need to cut them off? Oh, okay. All right, and that's it then. I just wanted to show you how to do a couple, and we'll continue to clean these birds and package them up. I'll show you how to package them tomorrow probably on the next video, because we have to let these sit in the refrigerator overnight. You have to let them sit in there for 24 hours before you package them. You can cut these little wing tips off too if you want to. You can also put those in your pot to make bone broth. You can't feed those to your dogs though, I don't think, because they got bones in them. Well, I don't know if you can feed these to your dogs either. Some people do, but I don't know if I'd want to with the bones in them. But anyway, these things are good for bone broth. And that's it. And that took us, I think we drove these, I can't remember how long. I think it was 8-9 weeks. And we could have butchered them earlier. As you can see, they're extremely meaty. Oh, let me weigh this thing. I wanted to see how much it weighed. Alright, so I have to tear it. This is in grams, so let me change it to pounds. Okay. Make sure all the water's out of it. 6. Wait a minute. Let me start over. Couldn't see it. And then it went off. Okay, tear. Almost 7 pounds. Alright, so that's it for today. We're going to finish these. We've got a whole lot more birds to do, and so we'll see you tomorrow when I start to package them up and show you how we do that. We do a shrink wrap on it. Alright, so we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Count your blessings, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.